Hello folks, and welcome to another Lone Adventurer solo game playthrough. Today I'm going to be playing Doom Realm, which is a roll and write game, a roll and write adventure game from Jason Glover, who is the game designer behind Iron Helm and Desolate, which is a game I have played on the channel previously. This is a game I think he made before those ones, and it's a roll and write, so we'll be rolling some dice and then we'll be filling in bits and pieces on this sheet as we go. And Doom Realm is all about exploring a fantasy realm. It's essentially like a hex crawler where you are taking a party around this realm and discovering and exploring different locations, dungeons, fighting monsters in those dungeons, collecting loot, leveling up some heroes, scoring points, all of that sort of stuff. When you get to the end of the game, you tally up some points based upon different bits and pieces that you've been doing, and you see how high your score is. I've played this one time before. Here's my old sheet, and I scored, I think, 83 points. So I'll see if I can beat that today. I'll try and give you a super quick rundown of how it works, but it will be super quick. So we will play through 30 rounds of the game, which does sound a lot. This claims that it plays in 45 minutes. Took me quite a bit longer than that to play, but maybe on this second playthrough I'll be a bit quicker. Each round we roll 4 dice. We have to allocate those dice to the different parts of this board. We've got the exploration area. We will use 1 dice to track movement around this area. So for example, if we chose a 3, we could fill in 3 hexes in a row, and that would sort of represent the progression of our party around this area. If we hit one of the numbered locations, it means that we now have access to that location to fight a monster there, claim some loot, etc., etc. You don't have to do it when you hit that location. You can do it as long as you've passed through that location. Question marks are random encounters. You have to allocate the second dice to one of the enemies, either to increase the enemy's health or the enemy's attack value. Yep. Then you have to allocate 1 dice to increase a treasure value for one of the locations. So each monster will be assigned to a particular location. Each of these treasure halls will be assigned to a particular location to be protected by the monster in that location. And I think that's it, isn't it? Oh yeah, and the other dice we actually assign to the location itself, and we gradually increase the value of that location. But you'll see how that works as we play through the game. We also have our 3 heroes. They start off with a particular amount of health, that's the squares, a particular amount of power, which allows them to use special abilities, Each hero starts with one special ability, and then you claim additional special abilities by levelling them up. And I'll show you how that works as well while we play. Each has the ability to hold a weapon and shield, but they don't at the start. Let's just quickly see what their special abilities are before we make a start. The Watchman, he reduces the enemy's damage by 1 for a particular combat for every 1 damage the Watchman takes. So he like absorbs the damage. Yeah, so he's a tank. That's the sort of a tank, traditional tank sort of ability. The guy that stands at the front and takes all the damage. Then we've got the Assassin. She can use her power to unlock a chest or door or disarm a trap, so that's quite handy. And the Alchemist, his special ability is Smoke, and that allows him to lower the damage of that an enemy deals by 2 for a particular combat round. So they are all very handy abilities, and certainly I found that using the abilities in a thoughtful way was important to succeeding in this game. Okay, so let's get set up. Okay, so in order to set up, we roll the dice and we keep rolling until we have 4 unique numbers. So there we go, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to allocate 1 of these dice to the treasures. And the important thing is that, well, probably this is all important, but I haven't quite worked it out yet. 1 of these dice will dictate how much loot we start with. So it seems to me a no-brainer to say that we want to start with using the 5 for the loot, so that we start with the maximum amount of loot that we can have. Then for the treasures, we'll use the 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Okay, so that just means we write 2 in the top one and then carry it on down, looping round to the 1 for the bottom one. I think maybe if I use... Oh, I used the 2. So maybe if I use the 3 for the enemies, that'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Yeah, let's do that. And then what do we do with the last one? Okay, so the last one just dictates which location is protected by a locked door. So for us it's going to be location 4. So it's actually the first location that we come across. That's probably okay. Alright, let's get into it. I'm going to roll the dice and we will do our first round. So we just write the numbers over here that we have rolled. I think I normally start off by using the deciding the movement that we're going to use. So the thing is, you've got these 3 locations over here which are quite closely bunched together. You can overthink this too much. So the 5 is up here. So I might do the 5 for the enemy, the 1 for the treasure, the 4 for the location, and the 6 for the movement. Yeah. So 6 for the movement. I'll tell you what, let's do these other ones first. So 4 means I fill in one of these boxes here. Now for every one of these boxes, when I successfully raid this location, I would gain that much loot. So in addition to the treasures that are shown over here, you gain that much loot. However, whenever you shade in a box with this little symbol, you have to increase the strength or health of the enemy located at that spot. But there was that symbol is not present in the first one, so I've just coloured that in. Now 5 means I've got to increase either the health or the strength of the harpy. I'm going to go for the health. Sorry, I should have kept that out here just to keep things clear. And then the 1 means I'm going to colour in that treasure box. Now each of these, you can probably just about see these. I'll give you a close-up when they become relevant, but essentially you've got a bunch of different cool things that you can discover, these treasures, and you only access them, you only get them if you've coloured in the boxes above. So you have to sort of colour those in order to ensure you get more treasures. And finally, our first movement is going to be 6, and it's going to be looking like that. And I think we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. All right. Let's have a look at what we've got here. I might start building up the loot at location 3 because I can anticipate going there moderately early on. I think I'm going to go sort of this way, around that way, which is what I did last time, but that just seems like the logical thing to do to me. This, by the way, I think is one of 2 Doom Realm games. So the same system is used in a second adventure as well. This one is called Rise of the Troll King. I'm not sure what the other one's called. I've got that one as well. So I might do a playthrough of that one also. We'll see how it goes. Yep, so 3 there. 2 on the monster, maybe not. The bottom monster is the Troll King, and that's the final boss. Now the thing about the Troll King is whenever you defeat one of the other monsters, you have to increase a stat of the Troll King. So he just sort of gradually gets more and more powerful, and there's not much you can do about that. So I don't think the last time I played, did I get to fight him? I think I had one go at fighting him. One of my heroes died and I didn't succeed. But basically, you don't want to increase his value too much. I don't really want to use the 2 there. I think I'll use the 2 on the treasure. The 4 we'll use for movement, which leaves us with the 6 for the enemy. So that 3, increasing that loot, because that symbol's there, it means I need to increase a value for the monster at that location, which is the goblin. So we're going to increase the goblin's health by 1. Then the 6 means we have to increase a value for the kobolds. We'll do health. The 2 is just going to go there on the treasure, and the 4 allows us to draw this symbol. 1, 2, 3, and then I now can't see that door's locked particularly well, so I'm just going to write locked. to remind me. Okay. 1566. Well, let's use the 6. I was going to say use the 6 on the treasure, but it's so far away that it's probably going to take a while for me to get there. Well, a 6 or a 5 would be good for the movement. Let's put a 6 there for the time being, because the 5 might be useful somewhere else. Maybe put the 5 on the enemy, the 1 on the loot, and the 6 on the location. That one, maybe? Yeah. The reason I put the 1 on the treasure again is because the final treasure there, it's very small, is the key, the master key, which unlocks the boss's lair. So without collecting that, it's not possible to fight the boss. So I'm going to do that. Then use the 6 to raise the loot at that location. Use the 5 to increase the strength of the harpy. You've got the health and you've got the strength, and you're not allowed to increase either further than 1 beyond the other. So if I increased at that point, I wouldn't have been able to increase the health, because then the health would have been 2 and the strength would have been 0, and the difference between the two can only ever be a maximum of 1. Yeah. Right. And we've got a 6 for the movement. That's this one here. Cool, cool, cool. 1, 1, 2, 4. Right, what are we going to do with these ones? Now, if you use a 1 on the movement, you can roll it again. And I didn't quite understand how that works. So the way I played it is, if you use the 1, you roll it again, and then you have to stick with the 1 that you get. So I may very well do that. I certainly like the idea of kicking off the treasure on 4. Obviously I don't want to increase the strength of the Troll King, so I could put that there, which is going to increase the strength of the Troll King, but I mean, that's got to happen at some point, because there's no way I'm going to have no loot at that location. Which leaves me with a 1 for the enemy, and then I have to re-roll this dice for the movement. 1 again, 2, okay. Right, so let's start with this one. So increase the loot there. That's got the little symbol, which means that I have to increase the stats of the Troll King. Then we've got a 1, which means we're going to have to increase the stats of the Ghoul. And the 4. And finally the 2 for the movement. Okay. Rightio. So we've got a couple of 6s here. Let's now get cracking on the treasure there then. Where is location 6? Oh yeah, it's all the way up there, isn't it? But let's use a 6 for the movement. We don't want to use the 2 on the old Troll King. We could put it there, which leaves us 4 on the Brigand. So 2 to increase the location, sorry, the loot value at that location. Then the 4 increasing the stats for the brigand. 6 increasing the treasure there. And 6 increasing, sorry, to do that symbol like that. So I guess I need to start thinking at some point about the locations that I'm likely to encounter first. We've got 3 here, we've got 1 here, and 4 obviously we're already doing quite well with. So I think 1 is good because that's the one that's going to allow me to unlock the thingamabob. But I also want to build up a little bit of loot there. So I'm going to do that. 4 brigand would be alright for the 4. 5, 6. No, I don't really want to use the 6 for the movement. I'll do the 5 down there. Okay. Alright, so 1 increasing the loot there. 4 increase the strength of the brigand. 6 and 5 gives us this configuration here. Oh, and actually we can use that to creep round there, like so. Okay. 3, 3, 5, 6. Well, we could use 3 to increase the value there, and actually we could use 3 to increase the treasure there because we are woefully ignoring the treasure here. 6 there would be all right, and then 5 on the monster, I guess. So 3 increasing the loot there. 5 increasing the health of the harpy. 3 finally getting started on that treasure, and 6. So we have now discovered location 3, so whenever we want we can attempt to delve into that dungeon and to fight the enemy and see what we can gain. I'm not going to do that yet because there's still a bunch of cool treasures over here that I'm not yet accessing. Location 3 is the home of the goblin. The goblin's still looking fairly low level. He does give us 3 gold when we defeat him, which is nice. But I think I'm going to hold off. I think part of this game is working out how long to wait before you actually enter these locations, because you don't want to do it too soon because you don't get the cool treasure and the loot. But if you wait too long, the enemy become more powerful and therefore a bit trickier to defeat. We've got here 2, 3, 3, 4. Right, well, we just talked about increasing that location, didn't we? So should we do that and that? 4 or 2 for the movement. Let's do a 2 for the movement, and 4 for the enemy. Okay, so 3, but that does also increase the goblin's stats, 4 to increase the brigand's stats, 3 to start getting some treasure, and 2 to do some progression. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 2, 6. Okay, well we could do that to increase the loot at the Troll King's location. I might go for 6 on the treasure, which is, I mean, it's a bit far away, the location number 6, but you get a lot of cool stuff there. A lot of cool stuff. Okay, we'll use 2 there and 1 there. Okay, so increase that. 1 increases the stats of the ghoul. 6. That's good because that little symbol there is a sword, which gives us a sword, which gives a advantage on attacks, as you would imagine. And 2 for the movement. Let's just do that. Okay, so we now have access to location 1, which is, I should have been doing that because you've got to get that key. Oh, some 1s. 1, 1, 2, 6. So we're definitely going to allocate 1 to the treasure to creep towards getting that key. The 2, I don't want to give it to the Troll King. Oh, but I have to do that or that, or use it for the movement. The problem with the 2 movement is it's only 2 squares, so it's kind of a bit of a sluggish pace, but I'm going to risk it anyway. Yeah, the 6 we could do for the enemy, and the 1 for the location. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so the 1 increases the loot at this location, which is going to increase the ghoul's stats. Then the 6 is going to increase the kobold's stats. The 1 is going on the treasure there. And the 2, we're just going to use the start to make our way up this way. Okay. Oh, oops. 3 2s and a 4. I think that's a 4. Did I knock it? I'm not sure. I guess that means we have to put a 2 on the movement. We're going to have to increase the Troll King stats one way or another. Pop that there. And a 4, which is going to increase the brigand's stats. So all of a sudden, some of the enemies are looking like they're a little bit more powerful. I'm starting to think, whoa, can't wait too long before actually attacking someone. So that was a 2, which unfortunately is going to increase the attack of the Troll King, but never mind. A 2 for the movement. Do I want to attack someone? Can't do the 1 because I've got to get that key, so I've got to get it up there first. 3 I theoretically could do. I'd get 3 loot plus an extra 3 loot for defeating the goblin. It's a shame though to not get those things, so I'm going to try and hold off a little bit longer. I really need to start increasing 3. Well, let's increase the treasure at location 6 because I feel like that might well end up being one of the first ones I do. We'll use a 5 on the movement because we've got 2 of those. 5 on the beasties, and then we'll raise location 2 up as well, which is where our Troll King is, so we're not going to get there for a while. We really aren't going to get there for a while. In fact, it's probably going to be the last thing we do. It's making me wonder whether that's just a bit of a waste. No, I'm going to do it anyway. 5 is the harpy. 6 over here. And 5 for movement. Oh, actually, let's use that to go round to there, which I don't need yet, but it's just too neat to resist. These 2s are killing me a little bit. How do I re-roll? Just need to remind myself. I think I can use loot to re-roll. So I can spend a gold to re-roll 1 dice. I mean, those 2s are starting to feel a bit like a waste. I'm going to use one of my precious gold to re-roll 1, 2. Hey, and get a 3. That's good. That's good. Yeah, alright, so could put a 3 there, a 3 there, 4 for the movement. Oh, but I don't do 2 for the monster. Yeah, okay, so we'll put 4 for the brigand and 2 there. Okay, so 3. 4, that brigand's starting to look a little bit powerful. 5, 6, 7, 8 health. Obviously I haven't explained how that works yet, but we will find out very soon. 3 on that, and 2 on the movement. Brutal. Right, 1 on the treasure because we've got to get towards that key. 2 on the movement, I guess. And 5 on that. And there. Ouchie. Okay. 1 there. 5. That harpy is starting to look annoying. 5, so on this location, which is the first one there, and that's going to raise the harpy up again. And then 2. Okay. Do you know what? This is going to be the final roll before I go for... Oh, I really want those things. We'll see. Oh, no 3s. That's lame. Okay, 6 on the enemy. 5 on the treasure. 4 on the... the location, and 2 on the movement. So 4 is going to raise up the loot there, and location 4 is the home of the brigand. 6 Kobold, 5, getting started on the 5 treasure track, and then 2. Alright, this is really the last one. I'm definitely going to do an attack at the end of this roll. Okay, we've got a 3. That's good. Right, 3 going there. 1, oh, but it would be good to do that. No, no. 1 on the enemy. 6 on the movement, I think. And 5 on the location. Yeah, 5 can increase that one. 1 is increasing the ghoul. 3 is increasing the treasure there. And 6 alright, fine. Got to do it eventually, haven't you? So I'm going to attack location number 3, which is where the goblin is. So to do combat, we roll 2d6 and we add up the total. We add any swords that we've got, but unfortunately we don't have any. I think I can decide to use powers after I've done the roll. So our goblin has got a health of 5. There we go, we have obliterated the goblin. We still take damage though, so the goblin has been killed. He's dead. We're still going to take damage from him. We are taking 3 points of damage because he is. We've shaded in 1 damage bit, and we're adding 2 to that, so it's a total of 3. But I think, you know, at this point we're just going to take that. So I think I'm going to give 1 point of damage to the alchemist. I'm just going to give 1 to everyone. I'm an equal opportunities damage distributor. Cool. And then when we do that, we get 4 gold for these 4 boxes being shaded in here. And we get an additional 3 gold because it's a goblin and goblins have lots of gold. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're up to 11 gold, which is pretty sweet. And we also have a look over here to see what cool stuff we're going to get. We've got a candle that will allow us to explore 2 hexes. We've then got a locked chest, and that signifies that anything afterwards is in a locked chest, and we'd have to unlock it somehow. And then after that we've got a purse with an additional 2 gold. We never made it to get the shield and the sword, which is a bit of a shame. But c'est la vie. So the candle allows us to explore 2 hexes, and I think I might use that to start creeping up towards location 5. We are going to use the assassin's power to unlock the chest, which will allow us access to the purse with an additional 2 gold. So we're up to 13 gold. Alright, I think we'll leave it there for this one. So we're almost halfway through. We've had 14 rolls out of a total of 30. We've defeated one of the monsters. When you defeat a monster, as I said, you have to increase the stats of the Troll King. Alright, there we go. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. If you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you are alerted as to my new videos when I upload them, and please join me for part 2 of Doom Realm. Thank you and bye bye.